Good afternoon, Professor and everyone. My name is Martina Santiago, here in this presentation with my group members Sandy and Steven. Today, our group will present the best path forward for Runner's World. So to begin with, Sarah Curtis has built a successful business around serious running, expert advice, and quality footwear. However, sales have stopped growing, many loyal customers are getting older, competition has become stronger, and the store's direction is becoming unclear. So our recommendation is not for Sarah to abandon what made the business successful. Instead, she should strengthen that identity. Our main message is to protect the core, add something special, and grow carefully. We will explain the current situation, identify the core problem, compare Sarah's alternatives, recommend the strongest option, and present a controlled plan for implementation. To understand the recommendation, we first need to identify what is still working and what has changed. Runner's World is not a failing business. That is important because Sarah does not need to make a desperate decision or completely rebuild the company. There are three main context points. First, Runner's World was built around serious runners, high quality shoes, and expert advice. Sarah was a nationally ranked runner, and Todd Scott, who manages purchasing, merchandising, and marketing, is a former Olympic long distance runner. Their knowledge gives the business real credibility in the running market. Second, serious runners are still financially important. The case states that they generate more than half of the store's sales and profits. Therefore, the original target market remains the strongest part of the business. And last, the business is still making a reasonable profit, but sales still have flattened. Sarah's immediate problem is not survival. Her problem is that the store no longer has a clear path to future growth. So these facts shows that Runner's World still has a valuable foundation. Loyal customers, specialized knowledge, personal service, and a trusted running identity. The challenge is not to replace these strengths, it is to use them more clearly. However, a new opportunity has now made Sarah's decision more urgent. The immediate catalyst is Sarah's discovery of a new custom shoe supplier. Runner's World previously sold made-to-order, high-performance shoes molded specifically to the customer's foot. Customers who tried them were delighted, but the original supplier later went out of business. Sarah has now found another company offering a similar program. This could help Runner's World stand out, but it requires a real commitment. The supplier requires greater promotion, a website explaining the ordering process, and a 2-day training program for staff. Although the training is free, Sarah must pay travel, hotel, and food expenses. The case estimates that the program would cost several $1,000s before it even begins. This opportunity forces Sarah to decide what type of store Runner's World should become. At the same time, she faces three major challenges. Number one, her customers are aging. Many long-term customers are getting older and moving away from jogging because it is physically demanding, especially on their knees. They may still value fitness, but they are shifting toward walking and lower impact activities. Second, competition is becoming stronger. When Sarah expanded into fashion, casual footwear, and general athletic products, she began competing more directly with department stores, online retailers, Walmart, Foot Locker, and large category specialists. These competitors can offer lower prices, larger selections, and wider market reach. Third, the store is trying to serve too many customer groups. Serious runners want performance products and expert advice. Older customers may want walking and supportive footwear. Fashion customers often want more styles, broader choices, and lower prices. These groups do not value the same things. Trying to serve them equally makes the store's identity very unclear. Therefore, Sarah's deeper problem is not simply a shrinking running market. It is a lack of strategic focus. These facts and challenges lead directly to one central question, which the question is, how should Sarah restore growth while protecting Runner's World's strongest competitive advantage? Now, Sarah is not only deciding whether to sell custom shoes, she is also deciding how the entire business should compete. Our answer has three connected parts. First, protect the core. Sarah should keep serious runners as the primary target market. This group still produces more than half of sales and profits, and it matches the store's strongest expertise. Second, support loyal customers without changing the whole identity. Runners should retain a carefully selected range of walking shoes, supportive footwear, and lower impact products for older customers. This allows Sarah to preserve important relationships without turning the store into a general footwear or fashion business. Third, test differentiation carefully. Sarah should test the custom shoe program on a limited scale. Custom shoes, custom shoes fit the store's performance, identity, and offer something large mass retailers cannot easily copy through low prices. However, because the case does not provide enough financial information to guarantee success, Sarah should use a pilot rather than a full launch. Our complete recommendation is to keep serious runners as the main target, support older customers through selected products, and test custom shoes carefully with trained and a simple website. In one sentence, protect the core, support loyalty, and test growth carefully. To confirm that this is the strongest recommendation, we compared it against Sarah's other realistic choices.
Moving on to the alternative courses of action, Sarah has three main options. Option 1, become a general athletic and fashion store. So the benefits is a broader potential customer base, and Sarah could sell to more casuals and fashion-focused buyers. However, the risk is high, and the Rena Wall would compete directly with larger retailers that already have lower prices, greater selection, more advertising, and stronger online reach. And Sarah had already experienced pressure in prices and profit margins after expanding into more brands and fashion products. So this option as the business to compete where its rivals are naturally stronger. So option 2. Option 2 is continue the current mid strategy. So the benefits is low immediate cost and disruption. So Sarah could avoid new training, website, and promotional expenses, and she can continue operating as she does now. However, this option does not solve the problems. So sales has already flattened it, and the target market remains unclear, and the business continue trying to serve different groups without one clear priority. So doing nothing is still a strategic choice, and in this case, it means accepting the same confusion. So option 3. Option 3 is refocus and differentiate. So this option keeps serious runner as the main market and support older customer with selected products and test custom shoes. So its benefits a strong strategic fit, and it product the store expertise and also create differentiation and avoid competing mainly through price. So it resists the initial cost of training, promotion, travel, and the website. So however, unlike the risk in option 1, this risk can be managed through a small pilot and clear performance measures. So the comparison is clear. Option 1 gives you the broader reach but creates stronger competition. Option 2 avoid immediate costs but does not solve the problems. But option 3 requires control, investment but creates the clearest focus and strongest differences. So when we compare the option using consistent criteria, so I would say option 3 provides the strongest overall balance. So slide 6. So we evaluated the option using 6 criteria. Does the option product the brand identity? Does it create meaningful differentiation? Does it use current expertise? Does it avoid the right price competition? Does it support older customer? And can the financial risk be controlled? So option 1 performed poorly because it weakens the brand identity and places Rena Wallwood against larger and cheaper competitors. So option 2 performs slightly better than in short-term costs, but it provides little chance of solving the lack of focus. So option 3 performed best overall, and it products the running identity Sarah has built, and it uses Sarah's and taught knowledge, and it also creates a more specialized outfit through custom fitting, and it also supports older customer without making them the entire focus. And most importantly, it allows us to test the idea before making a large commitment. So runners workbook cannot be realistically defeat Walmart, Full Locker, or large online retailers through price, product, volume, or advertising. So instead, it will compete through expert knowledge, personal service, and professional fitting and specialized products, and also interested relationship. So this group previous analysis summarized this clearly because the store should win by becoming more specialized, not bigger. So we are not recommending option 3 because it is risk free. We recommended it because it uses Renault's strongest ability and allows Sarah to control the risks before expanding. So therefore the best choice is to refocus and differentiate. So a strong recommendation must also show how it can be implemented realistically.
So we propose a controlled 90-day pilot divided into 3 stages: prepare, launch, and evaluate. The 90-day period is our proposed framework. It is not stated in the case, but it gives Sarah a practical way to test the strategy without making a full commitment. From days 1 to 30, we prepare. Sarah should first confirm the supplier's terms, promotional requirements, and exclusive territory. She should then select a small number of employees for the required training, starting with a limited team with reduced travel and accommodation costs. The store should also create a simple website explaining the benefits of custom shoes, the foot molding process, the expected ordering times, and how customers can request a fitting. At the same time, Sarah and Todd should select a limited range of walking, supportive, and lower impact footwear for our older customers. Before launching, Sarah and Shu should establish clear succession measures. From days 31 to 60, we launch. Runner's World should begin the custom shoe pilot and promote it primarily to serious and performance-focused runners. Staff should clearly explain the product's higher price, specialized fit, and ordering process. The store should track customer inquiries, fitting appointments, completed orders, sales revenue, customer feedback, and reasons why interested customers do not purchase. This helps Sarah understand both demand and barriers to purchase. From days 61 to 90, we evaluate. Sarah, Sue, and Todd should review the results together. Sarah should evaluate whether the program strengthens the store's identity and customer relationships. Sue should compare the revenue with promotion, website training, travel, and operating cost. Todd should evaluate product quality, staff performance, and customer response. At the end, the team should decide whether to expand, improve and test again, or stop before investing further. The purpose of this pilot is to not prove that the program must succeed. The purpose is to replace uncertainty with the evidence. This also addresses the concerns of the 3 decision makers. Sarah wants to protect the store's identity, Sue needs financial control, and Todd wants a strategy that supports performance and expertise. If the pilot produces acceptable results, the strategy can create important benefits without forcing Sarah into a sudden full-scale change. We expect 5 main results from this strategy. First, a clear identity. Customers will understand that Runner's World is a running and performance specialist, not just a general fashion store. Secondly, stronger differentiation. Custom shoes, professional fitting, and expert advice, as well as personal service, gives customers reasons to choose a store beyond the price range. Third, protection of the core business. Serious runners will continue receiving the products and services they value, which is important because they remain the strongest source of sales and profits. Fourth, continued loyalty from our older customers. Older customers will still have access to walking, supportive, and lower impact products without changing the store's primary identity. Fifth, lower financial risk and better decisions. A pilot allows Sarah to use actual sales, cost, and customer information before making a bigger investment. To conclude, Sarah's primary problem is not simply that she's selling running shoes, and is not simply that her customers are getting older. Her primary problem is that Runner's World has lost a clear strategic focus while trying to serve several different markets. Becoming a broad, athletic fashion store would place the business against larger retails that are stronger in price and selection. Doing nothing would preserve the same lack of focus. The strongest path is to build from what Runner's World already does well. Therefore, Sarah should keep serious runners as the main target, support older customers through selected products, test a custom shoe program, use trained staff and a simple website, and review the evidence before expanding. Our final recommendation: Runner's World should grow by becoming more clearly itself, not just by copying other larger stores. In simpler words, becoming more focused, not broader. Thank you so much.